Yes, the rumours are true. Well, I know there wasn't any rumours, but anyways, I'm going to be doing a 2019 Supercoach. And guys, I'm calling it right now. I will win absolutely nothing, because I am garbage at Supercoach. Every year starts off with so much promise. Oh my god, look how cheap this guy is. And then they drop by round 3 and my team is screwed. Actually, if we're being honest here, I do like to take this shit pretty seriously. Probably up until around Origin 1, or like when the buys happen. Yeah, I'm not really good at planning ahead for Supercoach. It's going good, it's going good, it's going good, and Origin comes and I can't field a team. What can I say? I just don't have the dedication to become a Supercoach superstar. Well, that was until this year. So I've already picked my squad and we'll go through that in a second, but I think it's only fair if I made a few leagues for you guys to play me in. So on the screen right now are 3 different leagues. You see Mr. Luke League 1, Mr. Luke League 2, and Mr. Luke League 3. Just enter in that code and you can go in and play in my private little league. There's 20 places per league. Please do not enter into multiple leagues. So if you manage to get into League 1, don't go ahead and enter into League 2 and 3 at the same time. Save the spot for other people so they don't miss out as well. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's check out my dream team ready to destroy the Supercoach. At fullback, this guy was a must-have for me. It's James Tedesco. Fullback is a position I love to splurge on in Supercoach, so he was a no-brainer. For wing and centre, we have the Rooster teammates Latrell Mitchell and Brett Morris, as well as Jordan Cahill from the Cowboys and Paul Momorowski, I don't know how to say it. Paul Momorowski from the Tigers, I think that's it. So 2 stars, a decent player, and a rookie. It's a bit risky, but I think it's a decent backline. I'm expecting B-Moss to score a lot more tries than he did at the Dogs, and he's replacing Blake Ferguson, so between Latrell and Brett, I expect to see them get through a lot more work and therefore get a lot more points. Paul M is a cheapie and he looked alright in the few games he played last year for the Roosters, and the Tigers are a pretty attacking team, so I'd expect him to score a few tries. Plus, I can't really see him getting dropped. I don't know what other centers they have. And finally, Jordan Cahill. He's moved from the wing / center and he's going to be playing fullback for the Cowboys. He's cheap as, and we know fullbacks get good points because they're always running the ball back and getting a lot of touches, so I think he's a great pick. Onto the halves, I think they're a pretty interesting one. In previous years, I would have gone for Thurston and Johnson. Now, Johnson's moved clubs. He's gone from the Warriors to the Sharks, obviously, so it's unknown how he'll do there. It looks like he's going to be goal kicking, though. And Thurston, he's retired, so I can't pick him. So I did pick his halves partner, Michael Morgan. He's the new captain at the Cowboys, and he did have a bit of a disappointing year last year, so he did find himself quite cheap compared to other halves, but I think he'll do pretty well this year, and his price will rise. Well, hopefully. I mean, I'm not really a Supercoach expert. I don't really know how the price rises work. I kind of feel like I'm giving the illusion I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. Moving on to the forwards, I actually love to stack the forwards in Supercoach. I think that's where you get most of your points, and there's always essentials in your side. For me, Jason Taumalo is one of them, and also Jake Trbojevic is another. 2 Supercoach stars, and then I've opted for young Cameron Murray from the Rabbitohs. He looks the goods. He's not necessarily cheap, but for how good I think he is great value. Then for the props, I have Andrew Fafita, who I think is also a must-have. Every year is a must-have. And then Josh Rapali, who I think will have a great season at the Raiders. He's moved to the front row, and the Raiders have actually lost a few forwards, so they're going to be lacking a little bit of go forward. I'd expect him to step up and have a lot more carries and make a lot more meters. Then onto the hook position, it was actually a really tough one for me. In previous years, Cam Smith, he was the obvious choice, he was the easy choice, we just throw him in there every year. Every now and again, Robbie Farah. But this year, it's a little bit different. Damien Cook is way more than Cameron Smith. In fact, Damien Cook is the most expensive player on the game, I think, by quite a distance. Then there's a whole bunch of other players who cost way more than Smith as well. But Cam Smith, he's consistent. He might not play hooker the whole game, but he's definitely going to play the whole game. And he's going to make a shitload of tackles, and he's going to get you those points every week. You know what you get with Cameron Smith. So I could have gone with Damien Cook, could have even gone for a guy like Josh Hodgson, but I've opted for Cameron Smith. Now on to the reserves, a bunch of players you've never heard of. And Dylan Napa. I've got to admit, the reserves aren't great. All but Corey Allen are starting though, which is big, and I've gone with a lot of cheapies. 1, to try and find a hidden gem, and 2, to make a bit of cash to upgrade players later on. Now I think you can tell with all the names, Dylan Napa is a little bit different to the rest. He is the star of the reserves. I was kind of surprised at how cheap he was, but then I thought of his role at the Roosters and went, yeah, probs doesn't fit the mold for a Supercoach player. However, he has a different role at Dogs, and I saw him in the trials and he was taking a lot of runs, so he'll get through a mountain of work in my opinion, and hopefully he'll get a lot of points for me. Reid Mahoney is the starting hooker for the Eels, and he'll rise a lot in my opinion. There isn't really anyone else to compete with him for that hooker spot, so I'd assume he'll be there for the whole year, so I think he's a good choice. Now the Raiders fullback Nicole Kludstad, I don't know if I pronounced it right, but he's actually an interesting one. He can play in like the wing, center, and the fullback position, as does Corey Allen, so I can swap them too. And I'm actually considering moving him in for Momorowski because, you know, he's playing fullback. I think he'll get lots of points, whereas Momorowski, I'm not exactly sure how many points he'll get. So yeah, that's something I'm just tossing up at the moment. Also, just thinking about the backup halves, I think they're ones that like every Supercoach player is going to have. Dylan Brown seems like a safe option. I'm pretty sure he'll be there for a majority of the season, if not all. But Kieran from the Warriors, I think he'll be fine. He's obviously getting the first crack at it, but he does face a bit of competition in the halves at the Warriors. Then for the forwards, we have Lachlan Burr, Jacob Hoss, Nikora, Totola. They're all cheap and starting for their respective clubs, so I had to get them in. In terms of who I actually go for my reserves, I think I'll opt for some of the starting back rowers as the cheapies and then throw in Mahoney and Napa. And yeah, I'll go with the back rowers because I think they're going to play more minutes and probably make more tackles. And in terms of Lachlan Burr, he's going to be in the middle, so I do think he'll get through a bit of work. So yeah, guys, that's my team. It's not amazing by any means, but I mean, it's okay. I still have like 240-something thousand to play with as well, so if I make any last-minute changes, I'll let you know. Also, leave in the comment section below, is there anyone in particular I'm missing? Like any rookies, any good rookies I'm missing? You know, I know Zach Lomax, Bronson Zeri didn't get picked. Could have put them in now, but I've decided to go for the players who are playing now and try and capitalize on them going up in price early on. Also, let me know, who should I pick as my captain and vice captain? I have no idea. I know it said Tedesco was the captain, but that was just the default one. So go him, Trebojevic, Tamalalo, Fafita, I don't know. I don't know who to pick. Anyway, guys, I'm excited to see who's in your team. Make sure you go ahead and join those leagues that I showed midway through the video. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end the video. If you did happen to enjoy the video, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's on the screen right now. As well as add me on Snapchat. It's Mr. Luke My Facebook page is also in the description below. And that's it. That's the end of the video. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.